I am hoping this is working now. Hello. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Hello. 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 Hello, everyone. Just waiting for people to come on. I know it has been, oh my goodness, it has been interesting trying to get on this live. Hello. 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 Just waiting for you guys to come on, making sure this mic is on. Hi, can you hear me? There's volume. Oh, there's volume. You can hear. Is it? Can you hear me well? Can you hear me well? Is it well? Hi, guys. Can you hear me? Let me see. There's volume now. Can you hear me well? Yes, perfect. Oh, thank you so much. Please just bear with me. Let me just share the link because I had to create a new live session. So I want to share this link with the community so that they have this new link. I'm so sorry about the delay on this. And this is me that tries to be extra prepared. And yes, just bear with me. Let me share this link. Share, copy. Oh, yes, guys, welcome. Happy New Year, everyone. Give me a moment. Let me just share this link with other members of our community so that they can. Here is the new live link. They can join us. The new live link for tonight. So yes, guys, happy new year, happy new year, happy new year. I'm so happy. How are you guys doing? As in, technical issues. That's why I need a team. I need a big team to be like dealing with audio, makeup, everything. I'm just kidding. But happy new year, everyone. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas, a wonderful new year. Let me know, how was it? Did you guys spend it in December at all? Did you guys spend your time in December in Lagos at all? Let me just see who's here. Eddie7520. Thank you for coming on. Um, Aslam1494. Happy New Year, Sassy. Happy New Year to you too. Tyrone said good, so you can hear me. Bolaji said, "Oh, Bolaji, hi. How are you doing?" Well, at last. I swear I was this close to saying, you know what, Funke, maybe God doesn't want you to do this live. Then I thought God want me to persevere a little bit more. So that's why I did that. Thank you for sticking with me, in the midst of technical issues. Chris M6362, Happy New Year, love. Happy New Year to you too. Oh, Bolaji, you were in Rome, Italy. How come? How come we didn't see you in Nigeria? Christmas should be Nigeria time, spending time with, we need some of that Forex money to help build our society in Nigeria. Aslam said, Al-Sam said, I did in Nigeria, but it was a bad experience. What happened? Please, please, please. As Al-Sam 1494, why was it a bad experience? I really want to hear about this. So please let us know why it was a bad experience. Stephanie said, Happy New Year from Atlanta, Georgia. I love Atlanta. Happy New Year to you too. Eddie said, you guys, Happy New Year, Sassy. Follow Sassy Funke. Share. She shares undeleted content. She has helped me travel home for the past 4 years, twice a year. Thank you so much, Eddie, for rooting for me. Please, guys, you subscribe. I feel like this year I have such high, targets for my channel in terms of quality content, but also in terms of metrics, like actually getting my 100K plaque. I think right now I'm on 86,000. And I feel like given level of content now, like, you know, I deserve more. Don't you guys think I deserve more? So please share. Eddie, thank you so much. Like, share my videos, tell people to subscribe to my channel. There's going to be so much more informative content coming on the channel this year. If you guys have any particular content styles that you want me to create this year, you can let me know in the chat section. But you can also send me an email to sassyfunke@gmail.com because again, this year my plan is to create content that you guys actually need. I don't want to create content just for the sake of creating content. My aim on my channel, on my platform is always create for value. Somebody must be learning something, right? If they're not learning something, then I'm not creating it, right? So that's the whole point of it. So please give it a thumbs up. Actually, there are about nearly, a few of us here, but the thumbs up does not match. So can you just give it a thumbs up? By thumbsing up the live session, it basically tells YouTube to push out the live notifications to other people to join us. So like, thumbs up, it's free. You don't have to pay for it. I can't see the thumbs up. Who's thumbsing up? You guys, you're not thumbsing up. Oh. Not just hearts. Actually, go and thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please, I can see the numbers moving up. Amazing. Oh yes, Chris M6362 said I did in London. You spent it in London. London is so cold. I'm back in London now. I spent my Christmas in Lagos, which was lovely. I spent New Year's just before, I think on the 29th, I went to Ivory Coast. And I have an experience about Abidjan, Ivory Coast. It was my second time in Ivory Coast. And something happened in Ivory Coast that I shared on my Instagram, but I really think I really want to share it on here. Let me actually share it quickly, right? So when I went to Ivory Coast, with my family, we had booked a hotel, two rooms at this particular hotel. And the rooms were two classic rooms. And we booked it from the airline's own website, not from any third-party websites. And obviously, there were images of what the room would look like. You know what? Let me actually show it to you guys. I think if I show you, since you guys might not be on Instagram, so you might not have heard about this news, but I'm going to show you because we're family. We're family. It's our YouTube family. Ride or die family. By fire, by force. We ride. Okay, so I'm going to show you. Oh, let me even find. I think there's another. I'm looking for. I'm going to show you. Right? So imagine. Okay, so imagine. Let me start with imagine what I booked was this. Imagine this is what I booked. I'm sure you guys can see it. So imagine we booked this kind of room, right? Which is sorry if you can see that, a classic room at this particular hotel. And I was meant to show the hotel's name because I didn't want to. They resolved it. So imagine booking that kind of room, and what we were given was this. Just imagine that, right? Imagine you saw what I showed you before, and this was what I was given, right? So when I saw this, I was like, even the hotel had two towers. One tower was, you could see it was new. The other tower, this one that had this room, was very old. Even the corridor looked a bit, and it's like a 4-star going up to 5-star hotel. So I had to tell the lady, I said, yeah, I'm sorry, the receptionist there. I said, no, that room you put us in, that is not what we booked. This is what we booked. And she was basically like, I said, okay, can I speak to your manager? So went to the manager. I spoke to the general manager of the hotel, and it was very interesting because the general manager of the hotel kept on telling me that, okay, Funke, like, madam, you booked a classic room on our system, and what we have given you is a classic room. Do you agree with that? I said, no, I don't agree with that. I said, don't play with my intelligence. You can't play with my intelligence. I did not book a classic room. I booked a classic room with this image, right? It wasn't just me booking a class, it was this image. Do you get what I mean? So you can't say, oh, I should just like, can I agree? No, 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 no. I'm not agreeing. The classic room I booked has this. I don't care what the name of the hotel of the room is. As long as the image matches, that's how people purchase things, right? Based on images. And went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth on this thing. And they were just like, even my family, my parents were there, and they were like, oh, maybe Funke, forget about it. And I said, forget about it. I think, and this is where I feel African travelers don't know their rights. Because sometimes we don't want to be the loudest people. We don't want to shout. We don't want to rock the boat. So we just take whatever we're given. And I think it's time for Africans to be like, no, that's not what I paid for. I must get what I paid for, right? After back and forth, yeah, this is the room that they gave me. This is the exact picture of the room they gave me. So you actually wonder that is it a scam or is it a ripoff? What do you think? Like, is this a scam? Because you had this all along, and you're going to give a whole sassy. That's anyway, they moved us and everything was resolved. So I love the fact that they actually, they took ownership. And but it was annoying that I had to spend like hours having to discuss and get into a resolution. That was really annoying. So yeah, so that was so just to say, please know your rights. Like, don't allow anyone to just talk their way into giving you less than what you paid for, what you're worth. I think that's one of the things that I'm going to sort of emphasize this year on the channel, on my platforms, is about African travelers really knowing their rights, because I think people take advantage a lot. And, yeah, exactly. Eddie said, do not forget about it. To stand your ground and you get what you deserve. You paid for it and you get what you paid for, period. Yes, but the truth of the matter is, a lot of travelers that are, elderly travelers, older travelers, give my parents, for example, right? They were ready to just say, oh, I beg, it's okay. Because they just, you've already gotten on the flight, you've gotten, so you just want to rest. You don't want to start discussing, but we young ones should fight on their behalf. I think it's really important. So yeah, so that's what I experienced that really ticked me off during the new year. Back in London now, God, I've created, I think I have like 5 videos, long form videos waiting in the pipeline to push out. Editors are editing it at the moment. I have a Turkish Airlines long form review. I posted a short of my experience flying Turkish Airlines from London via Istanbul to Lagos, which you guys really enjoyed. But the long form, have you seen, like, let me know, have you seen my Turkish airline short review? For yeah, you've seen it. Okay, let me know if you've seen it. And yes, let me know. Actually, I have a really quick question, right? I've been putting a lot of effort into creating more shorts, and I'm not sure which shorts you've seen overall on my channel that you gets pushed out to you. But which do you enjoy shorts? One, do you guys enjoy shorts in general? And if you do enjoy shorts, what kind of shorts do you enjoy? So that can really drive um the actually drives the content this year. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Oh yeah. So Eddie said, because our parents are just used to accepting the bare minimum, I will fight her. We are tired of bare minimum. Exactly what my mom would say. Yes, I've seen the Turkish shorts. Yes. Okay. Thank you for watching the shorts. I'm really trying to create better content. So please, during this live session, if you have ideas or anything that you think I should be doing better or you want to see more of, just drop it in the chat section so I can have a look at it and yeah, take that on like that. Yeah, take that on. Let me see. Okay, Eddie said this past December I did not go home. I was in Pennsylvania, USA. I traveled in October and came back before December. Okay, maybe next year I'll do home. It's just too hot in December in Nigeria. It's very hot, very very hot. Oh, cheers, Josephine. I missed that comment. Sassy Funke, happy new year, happy 2026. Love your work. Thank you very much. I gain a lot from your videos from Turkey. Oh, I love Turkey. Good. Thank you so much. I'm glad you gained so much from it. There was a comment from someone with regard to how okay, they had a bad experience. Al Sam, I'm still waiting for you to comment and share what your experience was in Nigeria that was not good. It'll be really, I think it'll be insightful for the community to hear about it. So please, definitely. Um, let's see. Yeah, Miodu said more of airline reviews. I know you guys love those. You guys love those. As in, I won't lie, my plan for the first quarter of this year, and I'm saying it now just to sort of hold myself accountable that I actually do it. So hold me accountable, is that I actually want to fly all the airlines that fly to Lagos or to and from to Lagos in the first quarter of half of the year and do reviews for all of them. So I just, Rowan Air, Royal Air Morocco, and do all of them. Please hold me accountable because it's money I'm spending, but I really want to do it because I feel like I love doing airline reviews anyway. So please hold me accountable to that. But there's a Turkish Airlines long form review coming soon. Look out for that. Look out for that. Look out for that. Again, I should interject here that this live session is really about giving you guys a forum. So if you have any questions to ask me, you can have direct access to me. Truth of the matter is, I get so many DMs that I cannot respond to. I respond to a few here and there, and if I try to respond to all of them, that's what I'll be doing. So it's really hard to manage DMs in terms of, because you guys always have specific questions about your and it requires thinking, sometimes research to provide an answer to you. So it's really important that if you guys, actually come on this live sessions and ask directly, so we can actually, you can ask it, other people will benefit from it, and also it's documented, so it's on my channel for life. Anybody has similar questions, they can actually learn from it. So I think that's, yeah. So that's why these sessions are there. Yeah. But I just said, wow, that's big. I have big, what's it called? Big plans. Whether or not I execute is a different thing. But I will try. Like I promise to try, because I really want the channel to, I feel the channel should be bigger, right? I actually want to hear from you guys. Like, what do you think is holding back the channel from being bigger? I'm not trying to be like, Mr. Beast, but why not? But I just feel like a lot more people could benefit from the value that I create. And I just feel like maybe there's a reach issue. Maybe, I don't know. Like, let me know if you have any thoughts or ideas on that. I'll love to hear from you guys. Eddie said, short insights, airline reviews, Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, please. I know many people have been asking me about, okay, Funke, it's always Lagos, Lagos, Lagos. How about Abuja and Port Harcourt? I'll put it. I have notes here. I'll write it down. Abuja and Port Harcourt. So yes. JB said, "Hey, Sassy Funke, hi there." Chris said, "More of cheaper airfares, short and long routes." Okay, yeah. So the cheap airfares. Interestingly enough, I feel like I do not post enough cheap airfares on shorts. I post it on TikTok a lot. So I don't know if you guys follow me on TikTok, and also on Instagram. I post a lot of like cheap flights on there. And TikTok, they love the cheap flights there. But I think I should maybe try and post more of them on. You're right. I'm gonna put that down actually. Cheap flights on shorts. Yeah, I think definitely need to do that. Let's see. Next question. JB said, "Do you have UK or US citizenship, or do you travel with your Niger passport?" Yeah, as in actually, some people don't know. I do have a UK citizenship, right? But I only got it about maybe 10 years ago. Like prior to that, I was traveling a lot solely with my Nigerian passports. So that as having that additional passport as it's been incredible in terms of being able to travel and navigate the world better. But given the fact that I wasn't born with it, I completely understand the struggles of navigating with a Nigerian passport solely. So, which is, I think it's a great perspective for me to, it's a great angle. Yeah, angle that, or it's a great, it's a corner. I was doing the word. Where I stand from, I feel I understand the struggles, right? And I can also, I guess, understand the privilege that I have now too, but still be empathetic to the struggles that a Nigerian passport holder has. So I think, yeah, that's MSGG International. Happy New Year. Are the landing and exit cards still required when entering and exiting Nigeria? Very great question, right? So some of you that are not aware, a landing card, essentially when you're landing in Nigeria, there's a requirement to just, fill out where you're coming from, where you're staying, your phone number and whatnot. And exit similarly when you're exiting, right? But I can confirm 2026, right now in January 18, Nigerian passport holders do not need to fill any of these landing or exit cards. So if you're Nigerian, if you have a Nigerian passport, even if it has been expired, but you have it with you when you're traveling, you do not need to complete a landing or an exit card. I hope that was clear. Um, Amas OKZ244 said, "Do you live in London or in Lagos?" I'm always wondering. And the question is, I'm a global citizen. I live in two places. That is actually the answer. I live in two places. I have a home here and I have a home there. So yes, that's literally it. um Tyrone Stickland 1544 said, "Can we get a flight review on the new airline in Niger, Enugu Air?" Well, I'm in London right now. Maybe when I'm in Nigeria, I'll do the flight reviews. And I used to enjoy doing flight reviews within Nigeria. I remember back in the day, I used to do the Dana, Airpiece, all these other the lines that fly regionally within not region, locally in Nigeria. And some of the headaches that I got, I remember like Dana, I don't think they exist anymore. They send like they're going to send their lawyers to me, and they're not used to criticism, right? And the message they were sending me about, because they didn't like my flight review. I said, I don't think I want to do Nigerian Airlines because the headache, used to be the headache, But if by any chance I fly them, I'll definitely do a review. R2DZ, I said, hey, locked in. Thank you. Eddie said, I learned about the delay and hotel accommodation. Last year, I traveled from ooh, Emirates PH to Chicago, and then there was an overnight delay due to plane issues. I used my Sassy Funke audacity. We like that. And walked up to the counter after seated for 2 hours and asked for a place to stay. I beg. They gave me a voucher for meals and shuttle rides and two-bedroom suites. I love this. You know what? I'm actually going to screenshot this because I think it is. And I will give you an example actually. A couple of years ago, I was flying Qatar Airways. I think I was going to Malaysia. So it was, Lagos to Doha. I was flying economy cabin, right? But our flight in Lagos left so late that by the time we arrived in Doha, the flight to Malaysia was gone already. So I remember when we landed, they were like, oh, I think they gave us like maybe like a Burger King voucher. Oh, here's your new flight, like literally off the plane. Here's your new flight connecting. And I think we had about 6.5 hours waiting in Doha. And they were like, oh yeah, just take this voucher. And I was like, voucher? I said, voucher. I said, everybody else took it and left. I literally went to the lady. I was like, I'm sorry. And at this, I think Qatar belongs to the same alliance as BA. I'm not sure. I think it's the same alliance as BA. And I went to the lady and I was like, I'm sorry. She was like, well, are you flying business? I was like, no, no, no. I said, but you can't expect me to just hover around the airport for 6.5 hours because, your flight, like, I know I'm not, I think it was 8 hours to give you a hotel. It wasn't enough time. And I was like, I'm sorry. I said, I'm not flying business, but I'm a executive club member and I was the base member. Not that I was anything. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to hover around this airport for 6.5 hours. How am I going to shower? I said, it's not going to happen. And she was like, oh, nothing you can do. I said, no, there's something you can do. Fast forward, fast forward. I think it was the business class of the first class lounge that was so beautiful. She gave me access to it. So sometimes, and going back to the point of what you said, Eddie, sometimes do not wait for things to be given to you because they will not give you, they will not give it to you, right? Because they don't want to give it to everybody, right? Sometimes you have to be proactive to go and say, you know what, work, do something, right? And many times you always get something. So I love the audacity. Yes, I like it's always good to have audacity. In this world, people always say, have the audacity of a white man. They don't even have qualifications for job, 2. They're applying for job 10. That's it. Yeah, it's a phrase. Oh, nobody should vex with me, but that's what people always say. Let me see. JB4577, nice. I have my US passport but never used it. LOL. I'm planning to go to Canada, but got cancelled because of the cold. Please travel. This life is so short. I feel like everyone needs to travel because the people you meet, the cultures, just even brave the cold, go snowboarding, like try something crazy, because whenever in the news, we always hear people, people passing away. I'm always like, no, no, no. Live your best life. We don't know what will happen in afterlife. Nobody knows, right? We can only, hope but this life that you have, please, please, please use that passport. Some people are dying for US passport and you don't want to use it. Some people are even dying for US visa. You guys know US visa drama. I don't know if I want to get into that, but yes. Amas Okeze said, in your opinion, is Murtala Mohammed International Airport outdated, specifically Terminal 1, 100%. It's that Terminal 1 is terrible. I think I don't like to sugarcoat. Like I love Nigeria. I don't try to I try not to talk about badly about Nigeria, but I feel we have to be honest, right? Because it's only with honesty that change happens. And I believe a couple of months ago they did mention there's some renovation plans that they have. I don't know when that will start, So and I think that's the sad part, even though a lot of airlines now fly out of Terminal 2 in Lagos Airport, many of them still depart from the gates in Terminal 1. So you still have that Terminal 1 experience, even if you enter to Terminal 2, which is not a good flow. So I think the quicker they deal with that, the better. So, in my opinion, it's extremely outdated. As in, for a country like Nigeria, like when you look at Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, some of these African countries, and you see their airports, and you think, in this same Africa, we that were the giant of Africa, like, why is our airport looking like we are broke? Are we broke? We're not broke, So that needs to be fixed completely. So yeah, that's my answer. Let's see. Gosh, there is quite a number of questions, guys. Let me try. I saw the asthma review. Yeah, I did the asthma review from Bolaji. Eddie said, Dana almost made me lose my mind. Chai, God, I beg you. Even if it's free flight with Dana, I will not use. I don't even like flying like domestic in Nigeria, to be honest. I'm just like, let me sit my. That's why when you're like that, oh, Funke, why don't you do flight reviews from Abuja? Like, one day, we'll see. Oh yes, one Blaji just confirmed when I was saying that the same Star Alliance, Qatar and BA, yeah, they're part of One World. That's right. Amas Okezi said, I have a question. I'm a dual citizen with a US citizenship and Nigerian, but with the current Nigeria ban, would that affect me? I'm not sure. I have a valid US passport. No, at all. It doesn't affect you. I think there's a lot of misinformation online. I want us to be really careful about where you're getting your information from. Like I always tell people, even when you get information from me, go and double check it, right? Because I'm human. But one thing I don't play with is my integrity. So before I create content, I always do my research, like that's my background. I'm a content creator is just by the way of what I've come to love to do. But I'm highly analytical. I have a financial background. I do my research. I have an MBA. You just plug that in, So I know the importance of researching, because the implication of wrong information to the world is crazy, right? So um it shouldn't affect you at all, because also when you're traveling to the US, it's your US passport you're showing, not your Nigerian passport, right? And I've even heard issues of like, oh, they're banning dual citizenship. Ignore all that noise. Unless something is in law, anybody can see anything for now, right? But you're a US citizen, all this Nigerian news, ignore it. Eddie said, mine was Qatar, not Emirates flight error. That's okay. I watch your videos and learning so much. It makes me so happy whenever I hear you guys learn a lot from my videos, because, like, I always tell my friends, I said, my aim is not to get 100,000 views. My aim is that the people that have watched my videos can apply it, can essentially travel smarter. And whenever I hear feedback like this, it means the goal is met. So thank you so much. Budgie said it's about knowing your rights as a passenger completely. Stevie Streets, hello Sassy. I would like to invite a Nigerian friend of mine to stay as a tourist in Manchester, UK. How do I send an invite? Is this a written invite or an email for embassy requirement? Thanks. Oh, I'm not sure. It's been a long time since I've done this, but I believe it's actually a written invite, and maybe you have to provide your passport details, like a photocopy of your passport for them to also submit. But I believe it's a letter. It's actually an actual letter. I don't think you write to the embassy. I feel like it's a letter that you give them and they submit it at the embassy. I believe so. If anybody else has any other ideas or wants to pitch into that conversation, please drop a comment. Budgie said, my next destination, Tirana, Albania. Wow, you know, I've never been to Albania. One of my really good friends in business school is from Albania, and I feel like Albania has been popping recently. So yes. Actually, you guys, let me know since Balaji has opened this up. What is your next travel destination? Where are you guys traveling to this year? Like, let me know in the comments. Again, if you guys are new, this place, this platform, this are our live sessions. It's just to be chill, down to earth session to talk about anything and everything. If you have any questions to ask away. So not overly formal, just a way for both of us to connect. Yeah. We have about 15 minutes left. Actually, it was meant to be a 30-minute live, but because of all the issues, I said, you know what, let me extend it. About 15 minutes left on the live. So with that said, questions, like drop them in and we can talk about it. Let me see. Next question. Bolaji said, I hear the terminal one is going to be demolished. They said they're going to, I don't know, is it going to be completely demolished? I know they're going to completely revamp. I can't imagine them. Well, it probably should be demolished actually, so they can actually start from the ground instead of patching it. Because over the years, it's been patch. I don't know if you guys saw like videos of when people were arriving and the conveyor belt was like open and it was just looking a mess when people getting their baggage and I don't know if you guys seen the videos, but like that terminal one, yeah, it needs something. Alma Casey said, imagine if Air Peace became a full luxury airline. Air Peace, luxury airline. Would they sell? Would Nigerians pay if Air Peace became a luxury airline? Start telling that you guys should pay $3,000 for tickets or $5,000. You guys won't pay it too. The truth of the matter is, I've learned something, and whenever I create content about cheap flight deals, and I always compare sometimes, as in many times, the cheap flights are the Royal Air Morocco, unfortunately, right? And people are like, oh, never, never, never. The reason people say never, 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 but Nigerians are still flying them because they're cheap. We're such a price sensitive, a huge proportion of the market of Nigerians are very price sensitive. They want cheap, right? So who would fly Air Peace? This fully luxury airline. I feel like the people that love luxury, let's be honest, they love Emirates, they love Qatar. That's the truth. They love Singapore Airlines. They love, that's so for Air Peace to be luxury. They have to buy new planes. The investments will be heavy. So yeah, they'll be charging us crazy amounts of money. Okay, so that's why we need to sieve out what I need to listen to. For now, it's only Sassy. Yes. Yeah, you know what? One needs to. I was discussing with one of my friends the other day about even on social media in general, right? We follow so many people, and it's very important sometimes, even yearly, to go through our follower, like what is the value this person is providing to me? Is my brain cells, are they just dying as I'm watching them? And to really like delete some people, delete some because you don't want content that is not elevating you, that is not adding value, that is incorrect, that is not educational, right? And yes, I think it's really important to actually do an audit in general, not just for travel information, but just for life growth in general. Please, guys, can you guys give this, like a thumbs up? I'm not seeing enough thumbs up. Where are my thumbs up? Please, I'm asking. It's free. You don't have just like subscribing. It's free. It just takes a click. Exactly. I'm seeing the numbers. It's not going high enough. Please keep clicking. Keep clicking. Click, 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 click. As I'm going through the other messages, let me see. Amos Okeze said, one day I hope to see an Air France Le Premier first class review from you. It's so funny because I was watching Air France the Premier Air first class the other day, and I was like, oh, I'd actually love to do a review of that. So for you bringing it up, there must be something. There must be something. You know what? Stay tuned. Colin Sumar said, hello, Sassy Funke. This is the first time I'm catching you live. I got to know you where you did a video with Ivioma, and since then I have been, oh, Ivioma, oh my, all the way back then. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you guys know Ivioma. She used to media. It was this American Nigerian lady that moved back to Nigeria. I think right now she's doing politics content. And is it in Enugu or somewhere? She's doing, yeah. Oh, thank you. It's really lovely to have you here. Thank you for catching me on live. Bolaji said it's usually a written invite with proof of address. I think that is in reference to the gentleman that was asking about inviting somebody to visit them in the UK, asking whether the invite has to be written. Yeah, so it says it's a written invite with a proof of address. Great. So Stevie said, thank you. Amazing. Let me see. JB4577 said Toronto, Canada, and Lagos, Nigeria, or more places in Africa. Is that plans you where you want to go to in 2026, or you plan to travel to in 2026? Very nice. But you said that terminal is over 50 years old. That terminal looks like it's like 500 years old, to be honest. Yeah, it needs to be fixed. Yemi Odi said next destination is Lagos, Dubai, Toronto. I love how you guys have already like started locking in destinations. You know, funny enough, I think my Lagos would be a next destination. Um, I think I'm going to Costa Rica. Is it no? I think I'm going to St. Lucia at some point. Then I'm also going to Mexico, Cancun, Mexico, till later this year. But yes, few plans. That's my plans. Eddie said, that's another story for another day. The conveyor belt. Some airports, you need to be pacing back and forth to find your luggage on two belts. Abuja arrival, and the frustrations are real. Oh, even in Abuja, really? I didn't know that. JB said Airpeace is definitely not giving luxury anytime soon. I heard some of their aircraft's air conditioning is faulty and people are feeling the heat while flying. Hmm. Let me not say much. So sad. Yes. But as long as our prices are not expensive, Sha. So you manage it. Amasukizi said, I hope our beloved Lagos airport could be renovated to be like other world airports like Singapore, Shanghai, ooh, Doha, Hamad, maybe even US airports. Singapore. I lived in Singapore for like 2 months at one point. That airport, the city, everything, the cleanliness. Ah, what a country. Balaji said, as a travel consultant, I get real value from your content, learning from your reviews. Thank you. Thank you very much, Balaji. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Sassy, why are you touching your hair every minute? Ah, see, it's a bad habit. It's a bad habit. Thank you for raising that up. I'm not going to touch my hair every few minutes because people will watch my touching my hair. I'm going to stop. I'm not going to touch my hair once again to the rest of the life. Hold me to that. I'm Mazokazi. I'm currently booked on Qantas from Perth to Paris, 17-hour flight. Wow. Wow. That is a long flight. I've never flown Qantas before, actually. Maybe definitely an airline I want to look at in the future. Eddie said, I love these live sessions. It feels like we're having lunch, dinner, family round the table. Honestly, that is the vibe that I want us to have on this live session because this is actually, I feel like you guys are really getting even me, like the real, not the, you know, you know, if you know what I mean. I feel like, this, I don't know, like that's the vibe I want. Like it's like a family. Because honestly, the way I value my YouTube community on is because I feel like I don't know, there's a bond that we all have here that cannot be replicated on any other platform, right? So yes, I feel the same. Oh, Sassy, I am from Akwa Ibom, and I heard they've approved the Victor Atta as an international airport. Have you heard this, please? No, 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 I haven't. So I haven't, but I'll definitely, do some research into that. Bolaji said, I'll be doing Latvia, Slovakia, sorry, and a few other places in Eastern Europe this year. You know what? I need to do more of those. I feel like I need to do more exploring, more, but that's just like for personal, like actually want to do more. Because, I spent a considerable amount of my life in the UK. And I don't think I have explored and experienced the culture, the life, the food of Eastern Europe as much as I should have. So that's something I think I'll plan for this year too. Eddie said, Sassy is excited. I beg, let her touch her hair. Oh. Ha ha ha. I move my hands when I'm talking, and that's my way of expression. And it shows you are very comfortable. No, you know what? I actually do try like not touch my hair. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's actually something I try and avoid to do. So him bringing it up, I'm not offended, but expressing with my hands, that's what I do. Like that one is never gonna go away. So I love the way you guys are sticking up for me. See, this is what family does, I love it. Amas Okezi said, I recently visited Lagos during the summer because I was flying from New York JFK to Lagos with Turkish Airlines, but I had a 1 hour transit at Istanbul and they lost my 7 bags. Oh, you got it back though. Wait, see, they lost your 7 bags. What does that mean? Please expand on that because, yes, that is, expand on that. But one thing I would pull out from what you actually just said now is that 1 hour transit. People always asking me, what is the best transit time, right? When not flying people like Turkish or any airline, depending on their airports or whatnot. I think 1 hour is very short. I don't know, maybe the 1 hour was short. When maybe the 1 hour was short because I'm laughing because I just saw a comment that Bolaji made. 1 hour was short because of a delay in the first flight, the first leg. It could be that. But I always tell people like 2.5 hours, 3 hours. If it's your first time traveling, it's even good to have a 4 hour layover, right? So you're taking your time. There's enough time for your luggage to make it, right? So when picking your route is really important to bear that in mind to that you have enough time for that transit in case anything happens. Yes. MSGG International said, I'm glad you've come back to doing the Sunday live shows. Please, you know what? I wanted to start this live by actually apologizing first, right? So let me bring my apology to the forefront. I know I promised you guys that I was going to do a live in December when I was in Lagos. I wanted to do it so badly, but you know when life is just hitting you and you don't even have time to even breathe. And like I was traveling to Ivory Coast, it was just I said, my YouTube family, I have to apologize to them. I will be more consistent because I think I mentioned before that I'm going to try and do these lives at the minimum every 2 weeks, right? So expect that and hold me accountable. Like send me a DM, like, oh, Funke, we're having a live next week. I said, like, just send me a DM, encourage me, makes me feel like you guys actually wanted to. But I just said, please keep touching your hair, Funke. That's why you're so sassy. Yes, yes. John Martin McKay. Hello, Funke. Hi there. I'm Masokeze. I got it back in 5 days later, all broken, all missing wheels and handles, still haven't compensated me. Chase that compensation, oh, chase them. If you have to drag them on social media, drag them. Because sometimes I think some of these airlines, like, it's so sad that you have to like go the extra mile for them to just do the right thing. Do what needs to be done. Baji said the best transit time is 2 to 3 hours. I'll say 3 hours, especially because I'll say this. I like to work out. I go to the gym a lot. Hmm. That Turkish airline Istanbul airport, as in, even I got tired of walking, like, So if someone is not aware of like how to read the signs and whatnot, give yourself minimum 3 hours, right? I'll say minimum for a first time traveler. I think that would be, yeah, that would be sufficient, I would think. But if I think definitely Balaji, if you're an experienced traveler, 2 to 3 hours is fine completely. Uzman said, have you ever thought of traveling to Dublin, Ireland? It's a nice country for its countryside and attraction. Might be a chance to try out Aer Lingus, something new to think about. No, definitely, definitely. One of the reasons, yes, I think I don't know. The reason why I'm not really focused on airlines like Aer Lingus is because I feel like Nigerians want airlines that fly to Nigeria, right? So that's why I focus my flight reviews on those routes because those are the routes that Nigerians will um Yeah, that Nigerians will actually watch. Oh, okay, you guys, I'm gonna increase since we're still chatting. Let's let's extend the live. Let's keep talking. Keep talking. Oh, I actually want to ask you guys a question. Actually, I would love to know. I actually changed my YouTube banner, and I don't know if you guys even noticed, right? But I want to see if you guys like it. Let me know if you like this new YouTube banner. Oh, I don't know. So it says right there, helping Nigerians travel with sense, right? I don't know. I really like it. I just want to get your thoughts. Yeah, helping Nigerians travel with sense, save money, fly smarter, and travel confidently. That's what's on there. What do you guys think about it? Let me know. Let me know. I just want to get some feedback on that. Usman said, okay, yeah, I've read that. John Martin, at least I've got you on live for the first time since the world was created. I'm so glad, even after all the hiccups, I'm so glad so many of you stuck around to join the sessions. I'm really, really happy about that. Ebun Oladeji said, hello, Sassy. Happy New Year. And thank you for your dedication to this. Your information is so valuable. You're welcome. You're welcome. Happy New Year to you too. Baji said, oh my goodness, let me see. Thank God you did not have the time to do live in December. I wouldn't have been able to watch. It's true, everybody was even busy, right? So I'm glad, we're starting the year off well. Eben said, part one, last year I took a trip to Nigeria on Egypt Air. On the return trip, our 9:28 p.m. flight was moved to after midnight. We took off and the plane developed a fault. We're back in Egypt by 1:30 a.m. Oh, wow. Let me see. Did you have a part two yet? Okay, part two, 7 a.m. Moved to another plane. I bought insurance to cover delays and all that, but I was told the delay does not fall into the category to compensate for. Is this true? I feel chance. Since you bought um insurance separate from the air, like as in, I don't know what your insurance covers, but you would think that it would cover something like this. So I think, yeah, maybe you try and explore that a little bit more. And what you could do is, if you have your insurance policy, 'cause this is me and ChatGPT are best friends. Go to ChatGPT, put all your policy documents in ChatGPT and say, this is what I paid for, this is what happened. Are they trying to give one chance to me? And ChatGPT will help you with that answer. And we even advise you how to move forward with it. So I think that's what I would do. Eddie said, I watched your last video on the lady and insurance too. Before the live goes off, can you share a little bit on personal insurance and the fight insurance, the difference? Please, if you don't mind. Of course. So if you guys are not aware, I actually shared a video literally like maybe an hour or so before this live session on my Instagram page. And there was this viral content going on about this Nigerian lady that flew Kenya Airways, and Kenya Airways lost one of her bags. She says that that bag was worth $50,000 in terms of the content. She had iPhones in there, jewelry, a bunch of worth $50,000, right? And she was basically trying to call Kenya Airways to be like, you know what, you need to pay me back. And they were saying to her that, okay, fill out the compensation from $1,500. That's the max liability that they have to pay, right? So I did a video basically explaining that, a lot of these airlines, there are laws that cover what their personal liability or their corporate liability is, right? And for many of them, many companies can cover you up to $1,500 on lost luggage, right? That is what the law says, right? So you wonder, okay, what if I have expensive things in my bag? That's when you get, I think I said it's actually travel insurance. So there's no personal insurance, flight insurance. I just mean travel, get your own travel insurance. Obviously, there's some insurance that the airline provides. That's why they give you that $1,500, right? But I think I said personal travel insurance. It's the same thing, travel insurance. You need to get your own travel insurance and check out what the policy is. Because even this travel insurance, you have to check what it covers. I'm sure they don't cover $50,000 personal item of your suitcase going missing. right? So again, when it comes to expensive items, always carry it in your hand luggage because you cannot rely. Even insurance will not say, because for an insurance to say they'll cover you, for example, 50K of personal items in case your luggage gets lost, the amount that you have to pay to get that level of insurance is going to be high. It's not going to be £40, £50, right? So I hope that clarifies things. I don't know. I hope it does. Let me see. Alma said, I just visited New Zealand with Emirates. How was it? I think it's one of those places, New Zealand, Australia, that is just it looks so beautiful, but it's so far, you know. John Martin said, I love your content and I love you too. You're looking great. Thank you. I'm looking forward to seeing more of your content from 2026 going forward. That is the plan. As I told, I think earlier on the live, I said I've actually filmed, I think I have 5 videos that is filmed, is being edited right now. So I'm trying to be a little bit more consistent with my long form content. But again, make sure you're following me on Instagram because Instagram content or shorts is much easier to film. It's quicker to, go live. YouTube takes a long more time from producing, to actually getting it right. So Evan said, we love the banner. Thank you. Budgie said, I like the banner. It makes a lot of sense. Um, JV said, it looks good, but Nigerian people might take the sense part too seriously. I guess, yeah, trouble with sense. I don't know. I think it's like sense is like, I don't know. I really liked it. um, and there's a lot of things that are coming with that because that travel with sense, there's actually a brand that I'm creating with that already. Actually, I already trademarked it. So stay tuned. John Martin said, I'm not sure about that new YouTube. Makes me feel out of place because I'm not Nigerian. No, and this is it. I want to like it doesn't matter. It's if you're African, it's you're part of it, right? Even if you're not African, if you're even someone that is Australian or you're German or you're Austrian or you're because some people might be traveling to Nigeria and they want to learn, oh, how is the airport, but I think the fundamental is the core of what I create is sort of like for Nigerians. So not to say you're not excluded, you're excluded. I would love for you to remain part of the community. I don't exclude, but I think it just more speaks to the kind of content you'll be seeing rather than it's solely for Nigerians, if that makes sense. Please, you are more than happy to be. I want you to be part of us. Okay, let me see. Eddie said, yes, this is so beautiful. And yes, Nigerians need a lot of sense. LOL. Yes, Sassy